Good morning. Good morning from Little Creek Bee Ranch. This is called, there's a train going by in town. On the cold air, sound carries way far. Okay, hey, this is called a prime bee day. So another lesson. Things change. Cows are moving. Okay, so here's some great tips. Okay, number one, we're down here in the catch box nursery again. This is where we've been working, and it's time to refresh Swarm Commander. I move in a little bit here. Nothing hard. This is nothing complicated. It's more strategic than anything. Okay, prime bee day. Haha. Got the gloves on. Bees, go there. Yeah, prime bee day. Number one, bees are hyper tuned to the environment. Always remember that. Bees are hyper tuned to the environment. So right now, temperature's about 45. Before I stepped out, it's 45, about 9:30 in the morning. 2 days ago, big rain front came through. Water table on the ground, and the ground is really high. We're soppy, soggy again. And when you have this combination of bright days, today is like almost cloudless. Oh, it's great. Bright day after a big rain front's come through, and the high I think is supposed to be mid 60s, 67. The bees will be moving hard. All right, the bees will be moving hard. So when you come into beekeeping, all the students, everybody's is like asking questions about bees and tools and boxes and what to do, when to do. So, okay, that's all good, but you've got to learn bee principles. And one of the principles is the bees are hyper tuned to the environment, and you need to be hyper tuned to the environment as well, weather environment. Okay, so we're going to do Swarm Commander refresh. See if I can. There it is. Swarm Commander. This is the Nosinov pheromone. Works very nicely for drawing bees in. Okay, so I'm gonna put my Swarm Commander in my pocket right now, and I'm gonna do this. And you go, what is this guy doing? Students, when I bring students out to work in the field, I take a moment. It's like, is he divining for water or something? No. Listen. You could probably hear that in the mic. Squish, squish, squish. That's what I'm doing. Man, water table is right up there at the top. And when it gets crunchy, crunch, 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 then we're really dry, of course. So you need to take a moment and go assess, if you can, the best you can. Where's the water table? It matters. So if the water table is really, really high, like it is now, as soon as it warms up, the nectar is just going to go, and the bees are just going to be hooking it. So we get these warmer days, and swarms want to move, and we have had a couple of boxes. Well, there'll be a couple of boxes back over here. The bees have been looking at, scout bees, a couple of particular boxes. So we don't know what they're going to pick, but I am sensitive to this. One of my students would watch me and he go, "What are you doing?" I'm looking at the environment, the water, and you need to pay attention to that. It will tell you what you can expect off of the bees. Action and activity, how fast. So we have a bright sunny day, 2 days after a big rain front. Temperatures come up to about 65. This is like nirvana, perfect. This is a prime bee day. So we're going to go through here. There's 10 catch boxes that we're just going to rescent. It's nothing hard. But if there's a swarm, if there's any swarm in here, they're going to be tucked up. They're not. Only the big colonies will move when it's 45, because they can get warm. They're warm, really warm, and they'll zip out and work, and they'll come back and warm up and zip it. But if they're smaller colonies, they won't come out of cluster until temperatures warm up over 55. So if I see a swarm in here when I open the lid, I don't need to spray Swarm Commander, right? They're already in there. So I just shut the lid up and leave them alone, but I don't think any swarms moved in. Okay, prime bee day. Be environment sensitive. Environment sensitive, okay? You can always rap on the box. Anybody home? And you'll hear a hiss. Sss. It's an ownership hiss. There's nobody home. Hey, look at that. And all we're going to do is one good squirt under the lid. There it is. That's good enough. And that will pull the bees up. Pulls them up and through the frames. I'll come around this way. We don't, you know, bees can do some pretty weird stuff. So get any water, just any standing water. 2 squirts on the porch. 1 into the lid, 2 on the porch. Right, like in the opening. That's enough. Ooh boy. I updated my Excel sheet before I came out that put a green in the block, refresh Swarm Commander on one Excel sheet. I track rain fronts. There's a yellow square, green squares or Swarm Commander, and we track it. It helps me be more in tune with the environment that after a storm front comes through, it's probably washed off a lot of this smell here. And the next nice day, after fronts come through, get back out here and refresh them. Smart, smart, smart. The best way that I've learned is just hold myself accountable on an Excel sheet. Or you can do a notebook or whatever you want. 1 good squirt. Ah, that was weak. There we go. That was just a weak squirt. Okay. Woo, 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 woo. It's strong. Oh, yep, it's strong. Golly darn, man. Yikes. Okay. There we go. Done. Cool. Nah, this isn't hard. This is more about timing. I want to be timely. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But you got to have something to hold yourself accountable on paper or Excel sheet that you can track. I like Excel sheets because I can put squares, you know, colored squares. Oh, let's come around the tree. Yeah, that's better. Okay, the bees were real interested in this box right here closest to us on that pedestal. Don't know why, just saw a number of scout bees on there in the past few days. It's all right. So let's do these 2. Liquid gold, man. I was talking with a student on texting. You know, they were asking about our program and getting started, and that's cool. All those questions, you know, and that's cool too. And then they said, well, we'll probably have to wait a couple of years before we can be able to get the bees. They're kind of hard to find. I said, no. Right now is a perfect time to start. You start right now. We'll teach you how to call down bees. How to call down bees. See, that's sustainable. You can do this every year. When you understand how bees really work. When you understand how they work. Nobody's home. And most everybody coming into beekeeping is like, they think they got to buy their way in. Well, you got to buy equipment, and I said, but I'm saying bees. If you think you absolutely have to buy bees, I guess that's what you're going to do. But no, I'm going to say no. It's bees are sustainable. It's a natural resource. You need to learn how to tap into it, man. That's good. Ooh, that's strong. There we go. Look at that. Nice. Just a thinking. They don't know. You know, a lot of people coming into beekeeping don't know the things they can do. That's okay. That's why we teach. Okay, wipe the water off the porch. 2 squirts. I'm looking. You'll see me pause and kind of look around, and you'd be surprised. Swarms come to the area and boop, hang up. They don't immediately go in, but they're in the area and they're checking things out. They haven't made their decision quite yet. 1, 2, very good. Very good. Yeah, so always be looking behind bushes. They like to hide. Think Easter eggs. Easter egg hunt. Under a bush, behind a tree, in the cedar tree. Oh my, in the cedar tree. Yeah. Okay, 1 good squirt. Yeah, that was a weak one. Okay. Boy, it'll burn. It'll kind of burn on your sinuses. You go, whoa, that was kind of strong. It's all right. A few more tips. Some of our members have asked about catch box, strategy, like setup, like what kind. Okay, now these are all nukes, all right, 5-frame nukes, and the reason I'm doing this is when swarms take them, they're easy for me to smoke, plug, strap, and carry. I can put on the cart and carry up. If it's a big one, it's hard for me by myself to move all that. So we do smaller catch boxes way out here. But a catch box is not a specific design, all right? Not a specific, in other words, a catch box could be a small 5-frame nuke like this. A catch box could be 1 single deep, could be 2 deeps, or it could be a deep and a medium as a catch box. One of my favorite setups is a double medium catch box. It'd be on the bottom board with the tray slid in, a solid top on it with frames of wax and comb in it. Oh, cherry, my favorite, double mediums. But those bigger ones I set in the active apiary that when the bees hit them, I know I'm not going to move them. They're going to operate there, and we call them operational sets. They're not moving. They're in an active apiary like vacant hotels, but they're the bigger ones. The bigger ones. Love it. Streamlined, nice and easy. I don't have to do anything but just let them build in there for 2 or 3 weeks before I go work them or look on them. It's all already set. No moving or messing around. But these are small. Did I squirt this? See, I get talking and forget. No, gotta squirt it. Okay. I get to talking and forget. Last night we had a great conference call with our students at 7 o'clock and had a great lesson and a great time and started visiting and talking. And I was super tired. It was a really stressful, busy day yesterday. And the old man forgot to click the record button. He had to gum it because I send recordings to all the students after a conference call. See, you can study it again. Or if you miss a conference call, that's okay. We got it recorded. If he remembers to push the record button. I get excited and I get to talking and teaching. That's just part of it. My apologies. I apologize to all the members. I'm sorry. That's why you try hard to plug in live. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Okay. This would only take me about 15 minutes if I wasn't filming, but we're going to film some lessons and talk and visit. This was the one that they were really looking hard at. Don't know why. Bees, there are several characteristics in a catch box that they seem to like. I used to think this was a pretty hard, fast rule, but I've seen bees take some weird boxes, even old boxes that have moth cocoons in it that I was getting ready to break down, and boom, swarm came in. And I was a little baffled, like, well, okay, you girls can clean that then. I don't know, man. They want it dark. They want it dark. They want pretty clean equipment. They want it to smell right? And they want privacy and a nice entrance in front. If it's a hole like this big one, inch and a quarter, those characteristics they like that. Yeah, they're thinking about it. Here, that's a good one. Oh, we'll see. You gotta wait. Temperatures need to get warmer. Let's come around this way. It's all good. It's all good. Get that off there. Personal Advisor Program, coaching service. Very cool, man. There's a lot there. For $29.95 subscription, I think you're getting a killer coaching support system. We could probably charge more for it. We'd probably be justified, but I don't want to. I'd rather have more students. Keep it down low. $29.95. It's a PayPal subscription. You can look at all the details online. LittleCreekBeeRanch.com. Go to you'll see towards the top, a page says Personal Advisor Program, and just click on it and read the bullet points that are there. There's a lot. A great newsletter, conference call at the end of the month with a recording if the coach can remember to push the freaking button. Free Zoom classes, one-on-one appointments, phone appointments. Good stuff. Learning curve, that's your number one challenge with the beekeeping, is the learning curve will eat you up. So we created a program with that in mind, is the learning curve has to be addressed. We talk about it a lot. And we teach hard and a lot to bring that learning curve down. So we've got members that have only been a couple years in the program, and because of the system, they talk like they're 20-year beekeepers. You would not think they've only been doing this a couple years. It's just how we coach, how we teach. They don't come on. Here we go. Okay. Ah, that was weak. Okay. Let me get my snoot down there. There it is. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm out here early in the morning before, I say early, 9:30, before the bees really get warmed up and start moving good. They'll start coming out here for long, 10:30, and we can see action rolling around. Pretty cool. You'll learn, you'll get a feel for the rhythm of the bees, the temperatures that they operate in, how they operate. Some colonies are real robust. They'll be out here in the lower 40s like, whoa. Well, they're coming from a big, robust colony. If they're smaller colonies, they'll still be in cluster. They won't come out until they get warmed up. Let's do these two. Great talks. Here's a tip. I'll give you an education tip. If you go to the website, littlecreekbeeranch.com, scroll down to the ebook library page. We've written 8 different ebooks. All of them turned out cool. People seem to like them. That's cool. Teaching strategic tips and methodology that's often overlooked in sustainable beekeeping. I got real frustrated at not hearing the stuff that I ought to be hearing out there in the traditional world. Like, gosh, man, I just don't agree with how they're teaching, and people are suffering. And we don't want that. So you go to the ebook library, look at the titles. Each book is $40. If you're a part of the advisory program, total for all 8 of the books is $200. Shh, don't tell anybody. $120 savings. That's just a benefit to you for being in the program. But what the reason I mention it is what students have done, and I didn't tell them to do this. I didn't mandate they do this. They would buy the books and print them out, and then put them in a 3-ring binder, and now it is their sustainable beekeeping manual. And you go, whoa. Well, I didn't tell them to do that. They'd show up to the classes, and they have these books on their desk, a 3-ring binder, and I'd say, what is that book? And they said, this is all that you've written. And I said, what? What? I'm a digital guy. I'm a digital kind of guy. I said, okay, well, why are you printing all that out? They said, there's too much to remember. I can't remember all this. So I print them out, and I'll tab out the chapters and key sections, and I'll go in and highlight things that are important for me to come back to. And I go, holy mackerel. They said, that's my sustainable beekeeping manual. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. So I've seen some of them. Some of the students show me. Very, very cool. Very cool. So I always, in classes and stuff, I'll tell students, you can do this. You know, it's an investment. It's an investment in your knowledge and education. And if you think you're going to come into beekeeping, this should be free. It's rainbows and unicorns. We should share with everybody. It's like, man, there ain't nothing free in beekeeping. It's expensive if you don't know what you're doing. It's really expensive. So we want to cut that way back. And you have to invest in your knowledge. That's what that's all about. You have to invest in your knowledge. And if you're not willing to do that, then it's going to be harder. It's just going to be that much harder on you. Up to you. Just an idea. Just an idea. Man. We're just due to pick up a swarm here. Yeah, we are. There's a good squirt. Yeah, we're just due. It's about time. Always cool. Put the bricks back in the same position they were in. The bees identify with shapes. Here's another tip. In the advisory program, students can set one-on-one phone appointments with me. You know, they're going to manage my time. And I will tell them, have your questions ready, written down, and, you know, make them worthy questions. We're not messing around and wasting time. But I want to answer questions. So I tell them, so have your pen and paper ready when you call in, and we'll record the conversation and send it back around to you. And invariably, we'll get into a discussion, and we limit the phone calls to 2 hours because the brain just can't handle more than that. About an hour and a half usually. And they always say, this was so good, I didn't know the stuff I just learned. I just didn't know that I was supposed to know that. That's why you talk to a coach. Somebody who's seasoned. Gosh, we've been doing this 17 or 18 years. You know, when you've been doing something that long, a guy knows a few things. You know what I'm saying? When you stuck around that long, yes, and we have our frustrations and our ups and downs and all that. Just like anybody else. Beekeeping is a fluid idea. You better be flexible. Better be flexible. So when you come out to your apiary and you're ready to, man, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going, yeah, well, if the bees let you. So your attitude ought to be when you come to the apiary, I wonder what my bees will give me today. Now that sounds kind of silly and stupid if you're kind of new, but it's very true. So for what do you control? Nothing. I control nothing. And I have got to be able to work in harmony with the bees and ask myself, okay, girls, what are you doing today? And based upon that, I can get work done or not. Depends upon what they're doing. So it does help to learn Apivox auditor strategies, because that's a really detailed, in-depth, oh, I got deer tracks right over here, man. A detailed, in-depth acoustic test of the bees, and it will tell us what they're working on. Very cool. Apivox Smart Monitor is way worth learning. If you want to check more out about that, you can go to our website again, littlecreekbeeranch.com. Scroll down to the page titled Acoustic Beekeeping. Study those little vignettes of lessons. Read them through a couple of times. Get a feel for the principles, methodology of what we're doing. And then the page next to it is called Making the Connection. And that's a storyline of us actually doing an Apivox test on a colony. Apivox said, queen cells are present, colony's prepared to swarm, beekeeper needs to take action. Exactly what it says. It gives us dials and graphs. The next day I open up to do a Taranov shoot swarm prevention strategy and pull frames, and there's queen cells present. Excellent, man. I knew all that before I even opened. That's what you're after. But you have to learn. And Apivox is the great humiliator. It will teach you what you really don't know about bees. It will show you just how much you thought you knew is not nearly what you thought you knew. Even if you're seasoned, and I've had big beekeepers, 40, 50 years in beekeeping, and sometimes they get kind of snarky. Oh, you can't teach me anything about beekeeping. I've been doing this for 50 years. And I don't fuss, I just wait. And about 2-3 weeks later, I'll get this real sheepish text. Hey, what was that you were saying about that listening thing? It's like, right. Okay. So you never learn it all. And you have to stay humble. The bees will make certain that you stay humble. But acoustic beekeeping is very cool. Making our decisions based upon what they're talking about inside, because we're third-party eavesdroppers, and Apivox is listening to the level of their buzz, and you go, what is this guy talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. Is all the students that we teach, right away we take them into acoustic beekeeping. Bees communicate through vibrations and pheromones. Apivox Smart Monitor is about vibrations. And these vibrations have different hertz levels depending upon what their event is inside. What are they communicating? It could be a high 300 hertz. That means good works. They're working on wax and honey, doing good works. It could be a high 200 hertz, and that's not good. That means they're passive for some reason. We got a lot of field bees in there that aren't coming out for whatever reason. That's a potential swarming signal to us. It could be a low 250. 250 speaks of queenlessness. 250 hertz, vibrating at 250 hertz, speaks of queenlessness. Ooh, so if I have a low 250, I have a queen at home. The bees aren't queen stressed. But if I have a high 250, we got a problem with the queen. Excuse me. The bees feel queenless. See, you learn. And a scale, the hertz scale goes from 50 to 550 hertz. I have a tickle. Okay. There we go. I think it does it. Get to talking. I don't want a double dose, you know. No double dosing. Not allowed. Go wipe my thing. Oh yeah. Okay, man. Lessons. You get lessons, you know. Sorry. Try to give as much information as I can. What else? April 1st. No, all that information was for real. It's not an April Fool's joke. All that's for real. Love it, man. Love it. All the wild cherry trees behind. Look at the white. Bees are going to be moving hard. A prime bee day. Clear sky. Weather's warming up to the mid 60s. Water table's high in the ground. Catch boxes are out. Swarm commander on them. Oh yeah, man. You bet. All right, I'm going to let you go. Call her quits for the morning. Go look at personal advisor program if you're already in beekeeping and you think, man, this guy is kind of different. Yep, I'm contrary. I am not a traditional beekeeper. There's a reason for that. We teach some pretty kick butt stuff. Pretty cool. You're not going to find it probably anywhere else really. First owner in the country of APVOX Smart Monitor. Ooh, we have the documentation for that. That was July 2016. OSU from Stillwater has been out here with 2 PhDs and 20 entomology students from the entomology department at their request. They wanted to come check out what we were doing. So we did. Ran them through the paces with APVOX Smart Monitor. Showed some cool stuff. Queen cells present, all that. PhDs. Just scratch their head. Huh, that's interesting. It's like, this is cutting edge technology. You aren't finding this really anywhere else in the country yet. It's like you could jump on this as a college and nope, didn't do it. Okay, so we teach students. We teach students. Personal advisor program would be really smart. $29.95 a month. It can be canceled at any time. We just ask students to think about a 5-year personal commitment. There's no binding contract or anything like that. It's like, how hungry are you to learn? It won't pay for you to be a part of the program and dump out in a year. That's not going to help you. Just don't do it. Just serious students who have a hunger to learn sustainable beekeeping, we have the program. And there's quite a bit there. You can go study it and look at it yourself. All right, you got questions, give us a shout. Lesson for the morning is over. Class was in session. More classes coming up. Check you out later.